Hello you, welcome back to day 3 of your Reset and Balance Challenge. Today we are working through backbending, we're working through breath work, pranayam, and we'll also be using some mudras, hand gestures, hasta mudra, which are the hand gestures or the seals. I'm Angie, when you're ready, come and meet me over on the mat. For today's practice, you will need a couple of blocks, so grab those, place them at the front of your mat, and we are starting today's practice in a kneeling position. Turn the palms to face up to the sky, take a deep breath in. Open the mouth, sigh out the breath, let it go. Deep breath into the lower belly, Adam Pranayam, hands on the belly. Open the mouth in an O-shaped release. Full expansive breath filling up your lungs. This time shoulders up towards the ears, hold. And release it down, release the breath. Good, blink the eyes open, bringing the hands out in front of you and drawing the sides of the fingers to one another. We're starting off in our mudra. This is Pushpa mudra. I absolutely love this one. It means a handful of flowers. So we hold this gesture, keep the shoulders relaxed, elbows out to the side. Eyes come back to close, pressing the sides of the hands together. And simply observe this gesture, this seal of offering, of giving, a handful of flowers. But maybe you also see that this is a gesture to receive. The ability to take, especially if you're one of those people that is always giving, always doing for others. Do not feel guilty for wanting to take, for needing to receive. If your mind wanders, bring it back, left side of the hand, in contact with the right side of the hand. Yug, to unite, to yoke. The whole meaning of yoga. Watch what the mind is doing, where it's going. Watch the chatter of the mind. The chitta vritti, the mental chatter, the busy waves that are being formed in our minds, and watch it as if you are the observer instead of needing to contribute and needing to add to the story we tell ourselves. Let's begin to fold the hands together. Turn the fingers to point up to the sky, hands come into center, thumb touches Anahata Chakra, the point of heart energy center, hands in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Set an intention for your flow today as we move through backbends. How can you find a level of detachment? And instead surrender to how the pose feels in your body today. Softly, gently, eyes blink open. We're coming straight into Setu Bandhasan, bridge pose with our block, a restorative version. So make your way to lying down on your mat. Keep the block by your side. So shuffle yourself forward. And as you're coming down, I want you to bring the block in your hands. So as you come all the way down, front and top of the body laying on the ground, we start to bring the soles of the feet press into the earth, closer in towards your glutes, and lay the feet completely down. Make sure we've not got our toes lifted or our heels lifted. Both feet press firmly into the ground. Good. Inhale, start to lift your hips up towards the sky. Ignore my creaky floorboards. Get your block or your brick, or whatever you've got with you. It might be a toilet roll if you're getting inventive with your props, imaginative. Start to place it underneath the very lower part of the spine and the top part of your glutes. And it might take a while for you to find that sweet spot that feels comfortable for you. When you get there, allow the hands to rest out to the side, palms facing up. Roll the shoulders under, eyes closed. We stay here. We arrive in this pose. We often think of back bending as something that's really overly complex and very fancy looking, and we don't realize that actually we can also explore gentle, soft back bends using our props to support us, to find added stability in our bodies. And every feeling, sensation that we have is a piece of information, a data point for you to take and figure out, okay, my lower back is feeling like this today, or I'm noticing this has come up emotionally for me. Identifying the different bits of information coming your way. Can you relax your shoulders even more? Can you soften into the palms of the hands? Taking deep belly breaths, Adam Pranayam, filling up the belly as you inhale. And allowing it to return back to center on the exhale. If you had your eyes closed, open your eyes, lifting your hips up just enough so you can remove the block from underneath you. Place it to one side. Good. Start to draw the knees in towards the chest. Interlace fingers on top of your shins. Take a little roll left to right, massaging out your lower spine. Coming back to center, interlacing the fingers are released, and then we bring the hands underneath the crease of the knees. Rock and roll to the top of the mat. Take 3. Might want to take some more. And then when you get to the top of your mat, hands down, make an all fours position. In your all fours position, we start to extend our left leg to the back of the room. Keep that leg lifted. Press palms into the ground, gazing down and slightly ahead. And slowly start to bend the knee, drawing it in towards the chest. Drop it back down onto all fours. Let's extend our right leg, do the same. Keeping it lifted. You lifted a little bit higher than last time. Good, bending the knee, drawing it all the way back down. Start to pad the hands back to meet the knees. And we lift ourselves up. We are in our kneeling position, just slightly lifted. Hands are going to come to the back. Now I want you to avoid placing the hands onto the heels. And instead I want you to think about elongating through the front body, pushing the hips towards the front of the mat. So hands are on the lower back, and you might slide them down your glutes and down your thighs, just not onto the heel. Gazing straight ahead of you and then starting to lift the chin slightly up as you push the hips forward. And you might stay here in your back bend. You might walk or slide the hands down your glutes, upper thighs. And notice it's harder for me to talk. So make sure that you are still breathing here. Making your way back up. We have 2 more rounds like that. Take your time. Coming back when you're ready. Slowly coming up. We have 1 more here. Finding your way to center, yourself, your breath, come back, and then we go again. Slowly find yourself back up. Take a moment. Certainly if you'd held your breath, get your breath back. It's really, really easy. There is that urge to hold. This time we extend our arms in front of us and we start to do that same motion. So hips are coming forward. Actually, don't worry so much about bending back. I know this is a back bend, but I want you to think more about open chest, open heart, which is exactly what's happening when we do a back bend, but also hips forward. So arms in front, push the hips forward, squeeze and engage your glutes, and then lean the body back. Good. Can you go a touch more? You've got this. And coming all the way back up You can feel that in the fronts of your thighs as well. Let's take the hands down to the ground. Come straight into Anahatasana puppy pose, melting heart forward. I've come a little bit further back on my mat. I'm going to walk the hands towards the front, pad them to the front. Forearms drop down, maybe the chest, maybe the chin. The bum is sticking in the air. Lift the chin and the chest up if you had them on the ground, and then start to bring the front body down to the earth. As you come down to the earth, bringing the feet a little bit closer together, the backs of the front of the feet are pressing into the ground. The hands come slightly backwards. Press into the palms to lift the chest, lift your chin. Engage through your glutes by turning the heels towards one another and keeping the feet pressed into the ground. Shoulders down, elbows are squeezed in. Feeling it in your back, gentle back bend. We forget a back bend is so engaging. We really feel the core muscles switch on, the glutes switch on, the parts of the back engage. A lot of work going on even though a pose looks like it's pretty still. Take a breath in, sip up, and exhale to roll and rock yourself back. Wrap the arms around, interlace the fingers behind your back. Feet come a little bit closer together. And then reach those interlocked hands away from you as if you're trying to get them towards the back of the mat, but also up towards the ceiling at the same time. So there's a real pull, a real backwards direction. Keeping the head down and ahead. Gaze is focused. Engage your drishti, which is the gazing point where we're looking. Take your breath. In through the nose and out the nose. Next inhale ends with us lifting fully up. Legs, exhale. Keep it lifted, keep breathing here. Drawing the shoulders back. And then slowly release down. Good. Take a moment to yourself. One more like this. Shalabhasana. Locust pose, lifting the legs first, arms up, holding, but not the breath. Keep the breath flowing. And drop it down, grab hold of each of your elbows, drop the hands into them, forehead down to the forearms. And wriggle and shake the hips from left to right. Take a breather. Working into the back can feel really tough sometimes. It can feel really tight. But it might also feel really nice and releasing for you. So be aware and observant right now in this stiller moments as to how it is it's feeling in your body today. Breath in, lift your forehead up, hands down to the mat, tuck the toes, lift yourself up, back into a kneeling position and bring those knees nice and wide. Let's take it into Balasana, child's pose. Walk the hands to the front of the mat, drop the forehead down towards the earth, rest, relax, rejuvenate. We end in this position, our class today, on a pranayam breathing technique. 3 inhales, so inhaling for the count of 3, and 6 on the exhale, exhaling for the count of 6. I'm going to count you for the first few, and then you'll all do in your own time. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more rounds in your own. And when you've done your last round, check in, tune in with yourself, ask yourself the question, how am I feeling now compared to how I felt when I first started practice today? Any changes, any difference? No judgment. Putting asmita, the ego, to one side and being fully present with your conscious self. I'll leave you here. You can stay here for as long as you like. If you'd like to come into a traditional shavasana, I recommend that you do one of our shavasana practices to elongate your practice. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope to see you very soon in our class again. Bye-bye.